When you apply for student visa, you should know that planning is the name of the game. When you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and that's absolutely necessary when you're about to acquire certain documents for your student visa. So it doesn't help if all these documents has an expiry date to them. So better make sure not to cram all these documents, because here timing is everything. Speaking of timing, it's Friday time again. Here I am, Coach MC, your SLE Planner, Study, Live, Explore, back again for another Friday video. Today we're going to talk about how long does it really take to get a student visa. A topic that we SLE Planner is very familiar with after helping hundreds of students here in Canada. I'm telling you, you are in the right place, because we will definitely answer all your questions after watching this video. So we're gonna give you a couple of examples here, documents that is time sensitive, so make sure that you pay close attention until the end of this video. If you've been following me here in my channel, we always speak about school admission, program selection with high degree in serious deliberation. Not only this is one of the major decisions that you will have to face, but this is actually the first step that you have to do in this long journey. Therefore, you have to really ensure that you're taking the right first step by choosing the applicable program for yourself. Fortunately, you have me, Coach MC, to help you determine which study program will be applicable for you, balancing all the factors such as tuition fee, timeline for you, and most importantly, the job's gonna be available after graduation. So we have an extensive data or list of programs that we usually recommend to students, and that's current, and we know which one is like the potential and more applicable to an international student. So it might take an independent applicant for like months or even a year to choose the best study program and school, where in fact we can only do it for you in less than a week. School themselves, they have their own timing, which season they're ready to take in students, and that's what you call intake. So I suggest once the intake is already open, make sure that you grab that opportunity while it's still there. Because usually when the student takes so long to decide which study program they would take, he or she will be placed on a wait list where nothing is certain. You can hope that the school will open a slot for you, but you can't be sure once you're on a wait list. So guys, don't get yourself in this sticky situation, and be more decisive when the opportunity comes, so that you will be ready as ever to take it for yourself. Okay, so now you have the letter of acceptance from the school and you're preparing to submit your student visa application. So IRCC is asking for quite a number of documents, and we're gonna dissect it one by one. So one of the powerful finance document that you can submit would be the Guaranteed Investment Certificate. It's not really necessary to get the GIC. Oftentimes, it's a good asset to show the visa officer. So if you're considering taking this GIC from a Canadian bank, you should know that it usually takes up to 2 weeks to process the document. How it works is that you would deposit 10,000 Canadian dollars depending on your family situation, but the money goes to a designated Canadian bank, and that bank has to offer a GIC services. Just wire transferring the money to a Canadian bank, that usually takes few business days, so you will have to time it and give yourself an allowance up to 2 weeks. Same thing when you're paying your tuition fee. So sometimes you have to give them an allowance of up to 10 days from the date you sent the money, and then you have to wait for the school to officially tell you that they already received the money. And then once they receive the money, they would have to send you the official letter of acceptance. So make sure that you receive the official LOA. The letter of acceptance will actually have, or they will indicate that they received the money, like the deposit, or you've already paid the tuition fee, or you will get a confirmation from the school. And that document, letter of acceptance, and the tuition fee payment, you have to submit that with your student visa application. So now let's talk about police clearance. So usually you will have to include this if you have lived in a country for more than 6 months. So basically, police clearance, it has an expiration date. For student visa, normally police clearance is only valid up to 3 months. So you really have to time this as well. So police clearance usually have a shorter validity date. So make sure that you obtain this closer to your launch date. So just to be safe. So you're also gonna be providing your personal funds. That would be bank statement and certificate. Personally, I would highly suggest that you obtain this a month before the launch date, because you don't want to submit a bank statement that you have requested like 3 months ago. So you want to make sure that you want to show the recent ending balance of your bank account. Also, for overseas Filipino workers out there, I just want you to know that obtaining a bank statement and certificate from the Philippines would take so long. So make sure that you're aware about their processing time as well. One more serious requirement that you have to really consider is the medical examination. Some people would actually be required to take extra medical tests. Especially in the Philippines, if they suspect that you have tuberculosis, you would have to go through a series of pulmonary tests, and that would take several weeks to complete. Completed medical examination is actually valid for 1 year, and that should be valid until you arrive in Canada. So now let's talk about the processing time. So once you have submitted your application, now comes with a painful waiting game for the final decision. This is like the most anxious step in your visa application process. It's just waiting for the final decision. So in the Philippines, the processing time for the student visa could take up to 8 weeks depending on the situation. You can actually check the CIC website to check the usual processing time. So this is gonna be depending on the type of the application and where you submitted your application. So the processing time is relative and not guaranteed. Some of my students, some of them took 30 days to wait for the final decision, some like 60 days, and some are like 90 days. So it really depends. This is just one of the special situations that you would call for longer time frame when you are preparing for this journey. I always suggest that you submit your application 6 or 9 months ahead before your intake. It never hurts to prepare the most you can. Much better than running out of time. So prepare for the school programs, like prepare for this ahead of time. So sometimes I have a student that I've been coaching like 1.5 years before the intake. We make sure that you have a smooth process before you come to Canada. Because again, you want to prepare for the worst case scenario. What if you got refused? Then you have to either fix it or switch to a program. You have time to, reapply for the application. Preparing this way is the wisest thing that you can do at this step. So there you have it, my recommended time frame that you would have to take when you're about to apply for your Canadian student visa. If you're hungry for more details, you can actually contact us through our website, studylivexploreca.com, or you can attend our free live event with either international student or an immigration consultant. Don't forget, like and subscribe in this channel. And this has been Coach MC. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Friday. Goodbye, paalam!